really... Oh!
Hey, buddy.
I feel like just
Murphy.
Typical man.
Busting right up in, interrupting a woman.
Right into
Gotta interrupt a woman.
Story.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Sue.
And Megan in the restricted section.
And today is another episode of
New is always better.
And today, the product we're going to talk about is wine condoms.
Wine condoms.
Yes.
Condoms.
Condoms.
For your wine.
Mm-hmm.
And the book we're going to talk about is Difficult Women by Roxane Gay, which came out, what, a couple months ago?
Last month, I think in January.
In January.
Yeah. So we're having this Riverboat Red, which is a sweet red wine, and this is from Les Bourgeois Vineyards in Rocheport, Missouri.
Yeah.
So it's not local, but in the state.
It's in the state, yeah.
So we're gonna drink this, and then we're gonna try out these wine condoms
And
on
see,
this bottle.
right, see how they work.
Yes. I don't know how to pour wine. Is it just like this?
Yeah, you're doing fine.
How much do I pour?
About that. I mean, it depends on if you want like a fancy proper glass or like a big girl glass.
Are these big girl glasses?
No, these are my normal
Okay.
size wine glasses. I have
So
big girl glasses.
here's our red wine.
Yes.
Let's try it.
Cheers. It's pretty good.
It's quite good.
It's very sweet.
It is quite, it's really sweet,
Mm-hmm.
which I like because
It's pretty good. I usually drink like Pinot Noirs, so those are not as sweet.
I usually don't ever drink wine.
So there's that.
All right, so what should we do first? Talk about the book, or
Why don't we put a condom on the...
let's put a condom
put a condom on the wine bottle.
and see. Cause okay, I got these from Amazon, and it says protection for wine lovers, and it comes in this fancy little box. It had a sleeve on it that I just took off, and you open it up, and there's instructions on in the lid.
for how to use.
And there's this little thing that says, having survived the startup phase, we're stoked to be a company that gives back. We're now able to donate a portion of our proceeds to Charity Water, which provides safe drinking water to people around the world. Congrats, you just turned wine into water. So that's pretty awesome.
Like reverse Jesus.
And then here's the wine condoms.
Yeah.
They look in a little foil package.
Just like a standard
like
old
a condom.
Yeah.
And it comes with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 condoms, and I believe I paid about $14 for these.
Okay. So 14 bucks for 6.
I think it was like 13 something.
Right.
So not terrible.
No, and if you drink a lot of wine, if you don't drink a bottle at a time and you want to keep it fresh,
Yeah. So shall we rip open one of these wine condoms?
let's condom this bottle.
I've never put a condom on anything.
I have.
Have you?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe you should do the honors then.
Okay.
So you just roll it on like a condom. I mean, maybe
Just-
we should look at the instructions first.
Yep.
It says, "Be gentle. It's his first. Be gentle. It's his first time." Well, the shrink to fit allows you to fit almost any bottle with a watertight seal. So before you apply to the open neck of your wine bottle, you must pre-stretch it. It says.
Oh, I didn't pre-stretch. I just pulled it over and there we just
Okay.
roll it down. Just like on a normal...
So there it is.
Yeah.
Should we do like a dunk test?
Let's try it. Let's move
Alright,
this
let's
out of
move
the
the
way.
book.
Yep, and let's get it on the mat if it's gonna spill. It's supposed to be watertight. Wine
I'm
tight.
scared.
Just here we go.
Looks good.
Looks great.
Looks good.
Yeah, nothing's coming out.
Nothing's spilling. So if you want to, supposedly, if you want to store your wine like this in the fridge or something,
Should
be fine.
Keep it fresh.
So this seems legit.
Seems to work. Yeah.
And I actually did read a little bit online before we tried these. And I'm not sure that they're really made to be reused, but I did see people in the comments, like in the reviews, saying that they have reused them.
Okay.
So potentially you might be able to reuse these. But they seem
legit.
Seem pretty good. I think what we're gonna do is I'm going to keep this bottle overnight, and then insert a clip of me trying it again tomorrow.
Yes.
To see if it still tastes as good.
Right. That's
So
the plan.
we'll see.
We'll see if it works.
I'm also not like a wine connoisseur, so I might not know the difference. But I'm gonna
Compare it to
try.
how it tastes tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, so let's get into talking about the book.
Let's do it.
Alright, so this is a collection of short stories. And we had both previously read Bad Feminist by Roxane Gay, which is a collection of nonfiction essays.
Right. And we both really liked it.
Yes, and these are all fiction. And they're all about different kinds of women. Really.
They are, yeah. And it's, they're not all like comfortable stories.
No,
or...
definitely not. Most of them aren't comfortable stories.
No.
Might be some tough ones
Yeah.
to get through. I mean, there
Yeah.
definitely was some tough ones.
Definitely.
But I think she did a really good job of writing about so many different women from so many different backgrounds
I think so.
in a realistic way, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I could understand like the motives of all the women.
Yeah, and not all the stories. I mean, some of the stories had like some fantastical elements to them, but I think they were really symbolic. Like,
Yeah.
I hesitate to call it. I don't know. I don't really know what magical
Fantastical
realism
Yeah.
is for sure, but it just seemed like metaphor to
Yeah,
me.
it did. It seemed a lot
Yeah.
like metaphor. What are you doing, Murphy?
Okay, so one of my favorite stories was North Country, because I think I liked it because it was definitely happier.
Yeah.
And I mean, she definitely has some dark stuff in her past, but yeah, the man in the story was not a complete.
He was not a douche. He was actually a
He was
good
a
dude.
very nice fellow.
He
so.
was.
Yeah, I enjoyed that one a lot, but I also really liked the last story, which was a very intense and difficult story. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was semi-autobiographical because she talked about that in Bad Feminist, about when she was raped when she was a teenager. Was she even a teenager? I think she was like very young, like 13 or 14 if I recall correctly. But
Yeah, she was
that story
really
was
young.
called Strange Gods, and I also liked that it explained, because there's several stories that talk about deer hunting, and I was like, what is this fascination with deer hunting?
Right?
And then that story, she kind of explains what that means to her.
Right.
Why
Why
deer
that's
hunting
such a
was
big deal.
such a big theme
Right.
in the stories.
My favorite story was The Sacrifice of Darkness, where the miner flew his aircraft
Oh
into
yeah,
the
that
sun.
one was really interesting.
That was my favorite one. It's about this miner who just has enough of the darkness one day, and he has to go to the sun, like he has to get to the light. So I really liked it. I liked the whole, because that one was one of the ones that was not realistic. It was more fantastical. Yeah.
And the one right after that, Noble Things, I found really interesting too, and also kind of relevant to now.
Yeah.
Because it was another kind of, I don't know what you'd call it, almost post-apocalyptic in a way.
Yeah.
Because it's like the country becomes very divided and the South secedes.
Yeah, that one was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like a
And-
second secession.
Yeah. That one was a super interesting one and super relevant to
Now.
to our divided states of America that we kind
Definitely.
of are right now.
Yeah, I really liked that one too.
Yeah. I don't think there was really a story that I disliked.
I liked them all, but my least favorite one was La Negra Blanca. That was my least favorite. That was the one about the girl who was in college and she was working as a stripper to put herself through college, and there was a really like rich white dude who was fascinated with her and had a thing for black women and was like obsessed with like rap culture.
That one was a difficult one, but
Right,
I still thought it was good. I think if I had to pick a least favorite one, mine would maybe be Bad Priest.
Yeah.
I just thought that one was kind of meh.
Yeah,
Like,
that's fair.
I thought it was a pretty solid collection overall,
I agree.
and I really enjoyed it. I flew through it. I read it really quickly.
Me too. I read it in a day. It was awesome. I loved it.
Yeah, so I think we would definitely recommend
Absolutely.
Difficult Women. by Roxane Gay.
I bought it on my Kindle and I like it so much, I'll probably buy the actual book.
Well, there you go.
Yep.
I bought the actual book, and by the way, the actual book is actually quite lovely. It's like,
yeah, it's really pretty.
you got pink, and then the underneath it's this really pretty like pastel pink color.
And the dust jacket's like soft to the touch.
Yeah, it's like velvety.
Yeah, it's
matte. Although
very
it does
nice.
kind of like get fingerprints.
Oh, it does.
Fingerprints show up.
A little bit oily, but
Yeah, but
I loved it. I thought it was great.
yeah, I
Gave
think
it
we
4 stars.
yeah I think we both gave it 4 out of 5 stars. It's kinda, I think it's hard for a short story collection to get 5 stars because I feel like to rate a short story collection 5 stars, every single story would have to be a 5-star story, and that's almost impossible. I think.
I think so.
So
It'd be hard to do.
Yeah,
but I mean, this one I would even say like 4.5 stars. I really liked it. Yeah, I really
Yeah.
really enjoyed it.
yeah, I definitely really enjoyed it as well.
It was super awkward though because I was reading it. I was sitting next to my husband while I was reading it, and they're like none of the stories are like about sex, but sex is in a lot of the stories. And so every single time my husband would look over, it would be like a sexual part. And so he's like, "What are you reading? Is this porn?"
Yeah, there was a lot of sex.
There's a lot of sex
in the stories.
Yeah.
Quite a lot, and not always pleasant.
Not always pleasant. But yeah, not always consensual.
Right. But I thought that she also did a great job of like showing the relationship a lot of women have with sex, you know?
Yeah, I think so.
So,
And I think that like some of the sexual scenes are very difficult to read in some of these, but I think that I mean, unfortunately, a lot of that is a part of life for a lot of women. And so
Yeah.
I think that it's necessary to represent that.
yeah.
And I think that she did it in a very appropriate way, in a way that is like tastable and not like torture porny.
Yeah. This wine, I enjoy it.
I think it's good.
It is quite on the sweet side.
It's very sweet, but it's
so
also
if
very
you're
good.
into sweet wines,
You might want to give
maybe
this one a
check
go.
out some Riverboat Red.
Yeah.
And the wine condoms seem legit so far. Like I said, I'll put like a clip in here of trying it out again tomorrow, see what happens. Okay, so we're gonna try to take this wine condom off real quick because we're gonna pour Joey a glass of wine.
Yes.
So I'm just rolling it back up, and then we'll see if we can get the same one back on.
Right.
So we're just rolling, just
Rolling. See,
Just
actual
rolling,
condoms
rolling,
aren't this hard to
rolling.
get off.
Like Limp Biscuit, kill me.
No, Limp Bizkit is why they're not so hard to get off.
How much? Tell
That's
me
fine.
when.
That's probably fine. Yeah,
All right, now let's try to get this mouth back on.
This off, and just roll it on down. There we go.
This feels like really wrong. Oh, look, I got it to go all the way down.
all the way down. There we go.
I'm a natural.
You are a natural. Do you want to tip it and see if it leaks?
All
You
right.
tip it over my glass. It looks
Seems
to
good.
not be leaking.
Seems good.
Seems solid.
I'm impressed. Wine condoms. I mean, the disadvantage to these, I feel though, is that while they may be reusable up to a point,
Right.
I think you would have to keep buying more. And with a regular wine stopper,
you can just
could keep using the same one over and over again.
But-
But a regular wine stopper also makes the bottle taller, which would sometimes
it's
make
hard
it
to
harder
fit in
to
the fridge.
fit in there.
Plus, like sometimes, depending on the wine that you get, the pressure from the bottle will push those toppers out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we used to have that. My ex-roommate would drink a lot of Moscato, and the pressure in the bottle would push the little topper out.
Well, there you go.
Well, there you go. So, wine condoms.
Wine condoms. If anybody is younger than like 20,
They're not gonna get
they
it.
don't know why we're saying condoms.
Condom.
It's the next day after Megan and I drank some of this wine and tried out this wine condom. I've discovered that one, it does leak. It could be because we took it off and put it back on. So maybe if we had only put it on once, it might have been a tighter seal, but it did leak. And also there used to be like a lot of pressure built up here at the top, and that pressure's gone. So I feel like it's maybe not as tight a seal as we were hoping, or it didn't stay tight. But anyway, I'm going to take it off now and pour me a glass. I don't have a wine glass, so I'm using a tumbler. and see if it still tastes good. Okay, it came off super easy. I could tell that it wasn't like tightly sealed. Okay, so to me that really didn't taste as good anymore. Maybe I'm weird, but it tastes less sweet. But it could just be that it's a different day. I don't know, but it tastes different. It doesn't taste bad, but it tastes less sweet to me. And like less flavorful. So I don't know. I feel like the wine condom didn't work out that well. However, I wonder if we hadn't taken it off and put it back on, if it would have been fine. But there you go. Hey, it's Sue again. So, I had initially said that the wine tasted less sweet, but now I've been eating a sandwich with it, which I'm almost done with. It's a panini from Panera. It tastes sweet, like more sweet now. So I'm wondering if it tasted more sweet yesterday because I had just had a beer beforehand, which is, you know, not so sweet. So maybe that made it taste sweeter because now to me, I feel like it tastes the same as it did yesterday. So maybe the wine condom worked fine. So if my lips look really red, it's because alcohol makes my face and lips burn sometimes. So, yeah, fun fact. So I feel like they probably work just as well as a wine stopper for the most part. So that's my final conclusion on it. Alright, bye. Doesn't it look like the captain from the Titanic?
It does. That boat's going down.
Yeah.
If you're gonna get these though, you might want to like tell your significant other that you're getting them, because if they find one of these laying around and you don't use condoms, that might be a problem.
Yeah.
Also, they might think whoever you're
It's tiny.
is tiny.
Yeah.
There will be some links down below where you can find us elsewhere on social media.
And if you have not subscribed yet, please do.
Yes, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.